and hire Hamilton at hamiltonisbusiness.com.
Perch Merch is your one-stop shop for all your printing and promotional needs in Lincoln, Nebraska. They specialize in screen printing, embroidery, vehicle wraps, window wraps, print collateral, promotional products, and signage. At Perch Merch, they are committed to delivering high-quality products and exceptional customer service. Their experienced team of designers and printing professionals will work with you every step of the way to ensure that your vision is realized. Call for a quote today at 402-217-5212 or go to perch-merch.com.
At Action Plumbing, Heating, AC, and Electrical, we're ready, reliable, and recommended. Water heater acting up or your sump pump on the fritz? Call Action. Summer's around the corner. Is your AC working? Are you sure? Call Action. Electrical problems? I'm telling you, call Action. Call Action for a free same-day estimate or a trusted second opinion. You heard that right, a free same-day estimate. 402-423-6960. ActionLincoln.com.
Old School with DP and J.
And, this part of camp it happens in high school camp, when they have a certain amount of time before their game, before school starts and all that. And then it happens in college and it happens in the pros. I had more fights with some of my good friends, the guys that I'm considered lifelong friends at this point in camp, than with some over-energized rookie trying to make a name for himself. Seriously.
On 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
93.7 The Ticket is proud to provide listeners with daily opportunities to win contests and prizes on our airwaves, and would like to take this opportunity to remind you of a couple rules. All participants must be 21 or older and must wait 30 days after winning a prize before participating in another contest. Once you win, you have 30 days to pick up your prize at the K&TK Studios, 1040 O Street in Lincoln, or your prize will be forfeited. Thank you for participating in our contest, and thank you for listening to 93.7 The Ticket.
It's game on at Elway Power Sports of Lincoln, Nebraska's premier Sea-Doo dealership. Score up to $300 off or a free 2-year warranty on 2024 Sea-Doo Sparks and $500 off or a free 2-year warranty on all other brand new 2024 Sea-Doos. Rule the streets on an Indian motorcycle with customer cash and trade-in credits up to $2,000 during the month of September. On or off-road, Elway Power Sports of Lincoln has you covered with a large selection of motorcycles and watercraft in stock at their new 27th and I-80 location. Hurry in, the clock is running down.
Coming at you live from the heart of Lincoln, America. This is What's Brewing with Chancellor Brewington on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. Here is your host, Chancellor Brewington.
All right, welcome in to What's Brewing with Chancellor Brewington. A little bit of a toss-up here, sliding in at the 6 o'clock hour to fill the gaps. Up next, we'll be right on schedule as always with the Dump Punt Hour. DeMornay Pearsonell, the former Husker wide receiver. And then, of course, from then on there, we'll have some Husker bowlers throughout the night. And I know I'm blanking on one, Chancellor Brewington. I'll throw it over to you as to try to remember what show we got going on. We got a bunch of new shows. It's a good problem to have as we're bringing the student athletes back in. But nonetheless, let's go ahead and bring in the host of the show, Chancellor Brewington.
Man, where else would you rather be, Harrison, than 93.7 The Ticket, 0 and 11th Street? I mean, where would you rather be?
It's a good spot, especially when it's getting to this fall weather. I don't know about you, but it feels different when the fall hits. Feels good.
Feels good. So we like to start off What's Brewing with Chancellor Brewington. We like to start it off with some type of quarter century wisdom. And usually the wisdom turns into encouragement, some type of insight on my life and what I'm currently going through, the season that I'm currently walking through, because there's a season for everything. And I feel as if an accurate, display of what I'm going through is, I would say a quantum leap. I'll say a quantum leap. And if you know anything about atoms, and I don't know much about atoms, but I've learned this, that if you split an atom, the atom, once you split it, it turns into billions and billions and billions of atoms. That's how you get the atomic bomb, right? Mm-hmm. And so the same concept, same principle there applies with like just self-growth and personal growth, is a quantum leap in your own self. And I feel as if that splitting the atom, that reference right there in your own life is taking deep dives into areas that, you you don't really like to go into, whether that's how you spend your time, relationships, emotional intelligence, emotional fitness. Because I feel like there's two components to emotional intelligence. There's the intelligence to know how you feel and be able to process that emotion, but then the next part is the fitness to be able to I should say to act on those emotions in the right time. So there's a fitness component to that as well. I learned that from Tony Robbins, a great mind, great speaker, great orator. And then like I said, relationships, whether that the bear in your life, I call it like slap the bear. Well, I don't call it that. I learned that. Call it slap the bear. Slapping the hard things. And I think for me, one of the things is I realized I didn't really know a lot of things. I realized there was a bunch of knowledge, I would say intellectual and knowledge gaps that I had, and I still have. And I feel like as I took a journey to read. And fun fact, Harrison, you've low-key been on this journey with me this whole time.
Yeah, it's been a minute.
Yeah, because I'm just reading and I started while I started What's Brewing. It was really
You're welcome.
Yeah.
That's a crazy thing to say, but go ahead.
March, I believe my first time I started reading was March 18th. And up to that, so since March 18th to where are we at? September, late September?
24th already.
24th. I'm on pace because I'm doing 365 days to that March date, not till this, January 1st. But up to this day, I'm on track. I'm on pace for almost 100 books. And that's
crazy.
Huge accomplishment for me, because prior to this, I probably read, Diary of the Wimpy Kid.
What's a good starting point?
Hey, that literally that's my only book. Though.
That's how you get your AR points.
Yeah, AR points. I was a scammer. I used to scam those. I used to not read the books, and then you get the AR, the quiz.
Mm-hmm.
You get I get like 3 out of 10, and
we figured out how to cheese it.
Oh, really?
Because they weren't looking at which ones we were testing on, so we just be searching up cow, right, and then look for the reading level, and it'd be like kindergarten or first grade, and then it'll be like, what does the cow say?
There you go.
Moo. Boom.
There
you get 10 out of 10 on those. You can just slap out a bunch of those.
That's
AR
that small
points.
city logic right there.
there
we go. There we go. But I think I know for sure, as I've been reading and as I've been, investing in myself, a mentor of mine, he said, "What are you investing in?" And I was like, well, I mean, you talking about S&P 500s, what we, talking about energy funds, what are we talking about,
penny
right?
Stocks, what do you got?
Penny stocks, right? What are we talking about? But what he was referring to, how are you investing in yourself? And how is, the 35-year-old chance, the 40-year-old chance, gonna look back and be like, man, it was because of the decisions you made when you was 25, quarter century. That's why we call it quarter century wisdom. But the decision that you made in this time is a direct reflection of where you'll be later down the line. So I would say, identify your knowledge gaps, identify where it is that you need to go. Where it is that you're ignorant, quote unquote. And I'm not saying trying to attack you anyway. Where are you ignorant, and what areas do you need to develop and take steps in, because those are the things that's holding you back. Because if you get to that next level, man, I'm telling you, it's all about unlocking new parts of knowledge, new parts of it, and applying the knowledge, teaching it, and making it your own. That's to wrap up Core Century Wisdom. You got anything on that, Harrison?
No, that's good. I'll take the wisdom. It's been a tough weekend for you guy here.
Yeah.
Bears, Huskers, fantasy football 0-3, just disastrous.
Nobody cares about the Bears, Harrison.
Well, I do. A little too much here. Me and my guy Jeff is S-Sync. You can catch him every Sunday. We start off. It's not quarter century worth of wisdom. It's quarter century worth of just tough Bears rants. Every Sunday you can catch that.
Yeah.
It's been all right though. Yeah, I got for wisdom wise. Yeah, the only thing I'll add on to it is when you get slapped in the face, you got to remember exactly what you're feeling right now. So there'll be a day where all this just hurts, and you're like, man, what a waste. And then I don't know, whatever it may be. Life has a way of humbling you when everything's clicking.
I'm just thinking about this is all funneling through the Bears. But
I'm sick.
Yeah.
That's fair.
So I guess we'll preview Purdue, but we'll first talk about Illinois, the loss.
Yeah, I'm curious what you've talked. I know you have the locker room. You probably spoke about it a few times already.
Yeah. So many takeaways. I'll say the good though. I'll say the good first. Good is Dylan did a fantastic job
He looked
recognizing
awesome.
coverages. Illinois threw a lot at him.
They were just switching up between zone and man, trying to throw him off, right? I mean, that's kind of what I was seeing from coaching from the couch.
Yeah, so like it, they were showing man, and it looked like they were going to play like cover one, and then they rotate to cover two. The whole he had a deep shot to Nair on the far sideline. He recognized it was cover two. It's just little things like that. He was able to dissect that. So that gave me a lot of confidence and encouragement. Sitting back, on the couch watching it and seeing, okay, like this kid is legit. As we knew that, but you kind of always want like reassurance going into each game. We saw that,
especially with how bad the offense has been.
Yeah,
like that's one of those. Again, we always talk about breaking it down in 3 phases. We've been pretty abysmal. In that phase.
Ooh, I like that word, abysmal.
I mean, what other word?
Come on,
vocab.
vocab.
Last season?
Come on, vocab.
Yeah, there.
Abysmal. I like that. So, and then you talk about Turner going down. That's a bad. We'll say that. Good receivers are doing awesome.
That's probably the best showcase we've seen out of the tight end room too.
Yeah.
Like it was just all around receiving core was solid.
Yeah, receiving core did good. Tight end room did good. That's about it, Harrison.
Well, let me ask you this.
Satterfield called a good game.
I was gonna say, because I know you've been talking about it. Like, do we cut the leash off Dylan Rail a little bit more? Did you feel like that happened?
Three calls I didn't like, and this is super ticky tacky for me. 3 calls I didn't like. I didn't like the third down to Carter Nelson. I don't know why he would be in the game, and that was the only time he was in the game.
Yeah.
Shout out Ainsworth, right? Shout out Ainsworth. Shout out Ainsworth. Come on now. Come on, stand up, Ainsworth.
All listeners, all 1,600 of them.
Mike got one in here tonight. Anyways, and then I didn't like the double pass. Thank goodness it worked, but what are we doing?
Yeah.
I mean, you save that. You don't do that fourth. You don't do that game on the line, right? Throw all your chips in on that. And I didn't like the personnel with the Lindenmeyer throw.
It felt like at that point you need to get the guys you trust the most out there. And I haven't seen Lindenmeyer in practice, but it did feel strange to see him out there for that big moment. I mean, we needed that.
Yeah, I would just say big moment. Didn't really understand why he was out there, because what they're trying to do, trying to fake run, catch a DB sleeping, see Lindenmeyer go down, act like he's run blocking. DB adds in for a blitz, for a pass rush, for a run fit, and then Lindenmeyer goes over top. But it ended up working. But imagine if Fedoni was in there. Imagine if even Borkature was in there.
Well, that's just the part we hear how phenomenal of an athlete Fedoni is, how great he is. It's like, let's use him then. Like
Right.
we heard that again in this press conference, from Matt Rule. Like there's so much high praise from Fedoni. Like I don't know what he's doing in practice, but he must be unstoppable the way they keep talking about him. So I'm just like, he's had some good games, but I'm waiting for that to really show up. Not Kelsey Mahomes-esque, but in a way where he just looks dominant. That he's out there. Just got defenses confused on what he's trying to do, finding those gaps.
Exactly. So I'm frustrated with those. And then obviously the big call. You got the 4th and 3, 39, I believe. Was it 39?
It was 39.
39.
Do you go for it or do you kick the field goal knowing it's your backup?
See, this is tough because you're a lose either way. Let's say they go for it and don't get it. Everyone's like, why are you whatever? He already made a field goal today. He already did make a field goal.
Yeah, he was 1 for 1 at that point. Given it was a chip shot, I think it was
like 21 yards or something.
It was under 25, I know.
Yeah. So you already had that, and he was good from extra point. Didn't look like there was any concerns. Everything was right down the middle. So I understand why you go for it. I guess the one question mark now moving into it, and I talked a little bit off air about this, and I'm predicting this is going to happen because this is just how life, football, and the universe works. I'm certain now that there's going to be a drive. It might even be first drive of the game against Purdue. There's going to be an opportunity for a field goal within the 34, 35 yard mark, maybe even within that, maybe 28, 30 yards, right? And it's going to be a 4th and 2, a 4th and 3 situation, kind of a mimic of what happened this past weekend. And Matt Rule's going to have to make a decision, and looking at that decision is going to be, do you trust your kicker or do you go for it in some type of fashion? Do you run the football?
It depends on what the sticks are, right? If it's 4th and 10, you're probably going to go ahead and trust the kicker as opposed to putting that off your offense. If it's like manageable, you only got a few yards to go and the run game looks good, you probably tell Jack Cole, like, take this one off, make it PAT, try to keep slowly building back his confidence. Because, I don't know. I think it's just tough for kickers out there, especially when you're the backup kicker. You got the entire pressure on you. And it seems simple, right? Snap, hold, kick. Just got to drill it.
Seems simple.
Right. But then, you got the full, the small things. Some people are saying the laces weren't quite right on that. I don't really see much to it. But, yeah, it's one of those things I got to see it in practice. Like, was that just a fluke, or is he always kind of shoddy from that range?
Right. So, and I guess they've been doing visualizations, which I love. I'm a big mind guy, Harrison. I love that type of stuff. I guess they've been doing like highlight tapes of themselves. So so imagine this, as you say, you're the kicker, Harrison. I'm going to make a cut up for you of all your makes. I'm going to make, from practice, right? Maybe even from high school and all these different stuff from the game. I'm going to make a cut up of all your makes, and I'm going to put it up, and we're going to watch it together, and you're going to visualize yourself doing it on Saturday or Friday or whatever it is, right? So they're doing things the things are going in the right direction. They hired Brett Maher.
Yep. He was after Alex Henry.
Yeah. So he's been there since training camp.
Yeah, he's been there. Some people thought he just like showed up, but he's been, it was definitely before the season even started. I want to say he was part of that.
Yeah. So he's been around. But I'll say this Illinois loss, you make that field goal, Harrison, and all these things get overshadowed. The defensive play, you kind of don't really, it's not as serious, the special teams play, it's not as serious. But now, all of a sudden, you lose, that L gets on there, and all of a sudden, the sky's falling, and, everyone's running around with their hair on fire. People on Twitter are going insane. They're saying fire Matt Rule, and people, bunch of knuckleheads, right?
Yeah, the people that caught the 2-minute highlight reel and were like, "Oh, we need to fire the coach."
Yeah, people who just not invested, like even people just get super negative.
I've been finding the Colorado burners just chime back up, man. They were quick on it.
Yeah, I had an Iowa fan quote all my tweets after the game. Anytime Nebraska loses, I get an Iowa fan because they mad from back in the day when I did that whatever thing, but.
They really do hold on to them.
No, they for real, it's actually insane. But defensive wise, I'm sure DP and Jay touched on it for a second, but they just got punched in the mouth. And Gifford said it in the presser. He just said they got punched in the mouth and they didn't respond. So how they need to respond against Purdue, and we'll talk about Purdue in the next segment, but it's tough because it's not a thing where Tony White per se is like, he needs to, do this. I think it's just an individual effort. I mean, just simply talk about eye discipline, just knowing where guys are. If you have them in man, get in the red zone. I mean,
well, like tackling too.
Yeah.
I don't care how many hats you get to the ball if you're all going to whiff.
And the tough part is they were engaging with the running back, 7-8 yards. Past the line of scrimmage. So it's kind of hard to stop momentum there. And that's why guys would, people were saying like there's, why did the, DBs or linebackers not stop the running back, in their tracks and push them back? I'm like, well, the running back got an 8-yard head of steam, at our DBs and linebackers. I thought John Bullock he's still playing good football.
That was one of his worst showcases, though.
Exactly.
I would say, but it's also one of those things where if you're John Bullock, you're like, hey, these gaps are big. Like it's not simple for me to quick fill on this because it feels like everything's getting blown up, and when those holes start getting bigger and bigger, it's a lot harder to close those down.
Yeah, Mekhi Bayer. Linebackers didn't play the best.
I was more surprised by our DBs, and you could throw the linebackers in there in coverage too, but I mean, Luke Altmaier was just incredibly efficient. Felt like those guys were wide open on multiple third downs they were converting.
Yeah. So I mean, we'll have a piece in the linebacker room coming back this week. Hint. But I mean, there's just got to be a level of urgency and gap integrity going forward.
Got to be starving again.
Yeah.
I just didn't see that same energy for Colorado. It's like we were starving to beat them. In this game, we just looked kind of hungry.
Yeah, I like that. That. Got to be starving again.
Yeah, I mean, Nick Saban says it's the rat poison of football is how do you handle success?
And so I'm conflicted on this because, and me and Mike were talking about it, and I think Strickland said it when I was on the block. He was talking about he doesn't think this is a thing where they're struggling with success. And
I don't know what you call that then, because you were the better team, in my opinion. Like we can agree that Nebraska didn't play their best game, right?
Yeah,
and you got to overtime.
And so I wonder how much can be attributed to not handling success or just bad X's and O's.
Yeah, I mean, for me, it's hard to say it's bad X's and O's with Tony White, just that one game. I don't think the 3-3-5 was the problem in that. I don't think it's Tony White's system. We've seen it. I just think and when I mean how do you handle success? It's not just you practice hard that day. It's like you got to sleep early. You ate right. You did everything in your power to make sure that when it's game time, it's not just hard practice, but you did everything mentally and physically as much as goes to sleep. And also, you're just hungry for it the same way you were with Colorado. That's. I mean, if we want to nitpick here in a game that really came to some nitpick plays, I mean, to me, that's what sticks out.
Yeah, I mean, when you look at the defense, if defense just one simple thing. I mean, just be disciplined and play action, know where their man is. I mean, this game goes completely different.
Yeah,
just strictly that. I mean, we can talk about the run and the gaps and all that stuff, and we can talk about the lack of pass rush. We can talk about the penalties, but if they just stay, disciplined with their eyes and play action. I mean, we had to start the game out. We had the spider 2 wide banana to Arkin, the big tight end, number 85. He scores. They come back down, run the same variation of that. They just put in a lineman in for the tight end. The lineman catch the touchdown. Those are 2 plays where you just miscommunicate, everyone's palms up. Whose man is that? Da 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 da. Why don't you get him? Whatever. To win the game. They put Pat Bryant in at fullback.
Yeah.
He runs the arrow. It's the same action. It's the same. Those 3 plays, same action. Fake the handoff. You got a guy in the flat. You got a guy in the corner. 3 times, right? We messed that up again, and it's all just eye discipline with their man. And so that's why I think it's more of an X and O thing. I don't really think it's a success thing. I think it's X's and O's. I think guys just didn't. If guys just literally did not do their job. I don't GIF, I would say on defense probably played the best. I would say probably some of it is because the position he plays. He's kind of that free roamer in that defense. So responsibility wise,
yeah, it's hard to pinpoint where his responsibility is.
Exactly. So a guy like Deshaun or a guy like Buford or a guy like MC kind of has roles because we don't know the exact defense, so we can kind of like this guy had this guy, right? So moving forward, those things have to get cleaned up, and you get into even a team like Purdue, and we'll talk about it on the next segment. When you look at this team. I mean, holes everywhere. I mean, they threw for 51 yards last week. They rushed for, I believe, 268.
Yeah, their whole game's through the ground.
Yeah, all through the ground. And Nebraska has to show that they can stop that.
That's the part, right? Illinois exposed some things how you can get Nebraska looking, especially in that backfield. We got to throw things to break here, but shout out to Jim chiming in here. Again, talking about the linebackers. Linebackers were in that situation because Illinois used play action correctly. And yeah, they definitely had them guessing. I mean, really, that first drive was kind of just a slap to the face. And from that point on, we just kind of felt off balance on the defensive side of the ball. But with that being said, we'll throw it to break here. What's Brewing? Chancellor Brewington. Got the host over to my left. Don't go anywhere. We'll keep it rolling on Ticket Weeknights.
It's game on at Elway Power Sports of Lincoln, Nebraska's premier Sea-Doo dealership. Score up to $300 off or a free 2-year warranty on 2024 Sea-Doo Sparks and $500 off or a free 2-year warranty on all other brand new 2024 Sea-Doos. Rule the streets on an Indian motorcycle with customer cash and trade-in credits up to $2,000 during the month of September. On or off-road, Elway Power Sports of Lincoln has you covered with a large selection of motorcycles and watercraft in stock at their new 27th and I-80 location. Hurry in, the clock is running down.
Empower a child today with the Teammates Mentoring Program. Hope is only a conversation away when you choose to share your talent, time, and heart with a child. Together, you can build a relationship based on strengths and chart a brighter future, 1 week at a time. Find out how you can be a mentor by visiting LincolnTeammates.org. Become what you needed as a kid by joining the Teammates Mentoring Program today.
Nebraskans are proud of their public schools. Hi, I'm Tim Royers. As a Nebraska Teacher of the Year, I traveled across the state and saw the value public schools bring to our communities every day. They're where our kids get the skills and opportunities they need to succeed. They're where families come together to enjoy a musical, cheer for our teams, talk with teachers, and build trusted relationships. Strong public schools create strong communities.
Sponsored by the Nebraska State Education Association, aired by the Nebraska Broadcasters Association in this station.
Hi, Sean Callahan here for Koppel Chevrolet GMC, and Truck Month is back. We have absolutely gigantic savings right now at Koppel. They are offering $12,500 off on select new pickups. That is not a mistake. You heard right. $12,500 off list price right now on select new pickups. Those discounted units, though, will not last long. These are all manager specials. You have to come in now, so hurry in down 144th Street or shop online at koppelcars.com. You'll be glad you did. Stock number G356093 must trade.
Hi, my name is Molly Party. I'm a realtor with MP Dodge Real Estate. I'm a newly licensed agent and considered numerous brokerages before deciding on MP Dodge. I chose the company that gives me the most support in my new career, plus guidance and encouragement along the way. MP Dodge has a unique mentoring program for new agents. It's helped jumpstart my career and has a supportive management team and administrative staff. So if you're contemplating a career in real estate, look no further than MP Dodge. It will be the best decision you make.
Still using that old, outdated office phone system? You need better. At Hamilton, we offer solutions for the modern office. Whether you have an office full of staff or your employees work remotely and are on the go, seamless call handling is important. Elevate your communication and connect seamlessly with clients and staff with Hamilton Business Phone Systems. Choose better and hire Hamilton at hamiltonisbusiness.com.
Perch Merch is your one-stop shop for all your printing and promotional needs in Lincoln, Nebraska. They specialize in screen printing, embroidery, vehicle wraps, window wraps, print collateral, promotional products, and signage. At Perch Merch, they are committed to delivering high-quality products and exceptional customer service. Their experienced team of designers and printing professionals will work with you every step of the way to ensure that your vision is realized. Call for a quote today at 402-217-5212 or go to perch-merch.com.
At Action Plumbing, Heating, AC, and Electrical, we're ready, reliable, and recommended. Water heater acting up or your sump pump on the fritz? Call Action. Summer's around the corner. Is your AC working? Are you sure? Call Action. Electrical problems? I'm telling you, call Action. Call Action for a free same-day estimate or a trusted second opinion. You heard that right, a free same-day estimate. 402-423-6960. ActionLincoln.com.
Old School with DP and J.
And, this part of camp it happens in high school camp, when they have a certain amount of time before their game, before school starts and all that. And then it happens in college and it happens in the pros. I had more fights with some of my good friends, the guys that I'm considered lifelong friends at this point in camp, than with some over-energized rookie trying to make a name for himself. Seriously.
On 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
93.7 The Ticket is proud to provide listeners with daily opportunities to win contests and prizes on our airwaves, and would like to take this opportunity to remind you of a couple rules. All participants must be 21 or older and must wait 30 days after winning a prize before participating in another contest. Once you win, you have 30 days to pick up your prize at the K&TK Studios, 1040 O Street in Lincoln, or your prize will be forfeit. Thank you for participating in our contest, and thank you for listening to 93.7 The Ticket.
Back to What's Brewing with Chancellor Brewington on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
All right, welcome back in. What's Brewing? Chancellor Brewington, the former Husker tight end, to my left as always, joining us at 6 p.m. on a Tuesday night. All right, Chancellor, you previewed it a little bit, but what do you want to dial in on this segment?
Yeah, I want to talk about this Purdue game coming up. And just so stats. Are you a big stat guy?
I am with a grain of salt, right?
Okay.
Because if you look at the stats, you're like, well, Nebraska should be able to crush these guys in the run. That didn't happen.
Right.
Especially in football, it's like, it's so hard. In basketball, yes. Football, the sample size is so small that if you get lost in the stats, you'll just be, underestimating and overestimating teams left and right.
Yeah. So what I like to say is Stats tell half the story. If the stats are confirmed by film, then you can look at the stats and really read into it. So I went through today and I watched the Purdue game, the Oregon State game. I did it on my YouTube. It'll be dropping tomorrow.
I think I crushed by Oregon State too, didn't they?
Yeah, so it was 38-21.
Yeah.
And then the Notre Dame game, they had a bye, I believe, week 3. And then week 2, they played Notre Dame.
After Notre Dame lost to
Northern Illinois. So they kind of had a
revenge
game, built up energy. The big brother beating on the little brother, right? For no reason.
That's tough for Purdue to get that draw. Because Notre Dame's going to be pissed.
Yeah, they're pissed. I mean, they came out and ran the football like nobody's business.
They dropped, 66 on them?
Yeah, 66 and, all that good stuff. So just looking at Purdue's last game, I will say that all the stats and all the, analytics, they confirm the film, and the film confirms the stats. So we can actually read into all of this. So Hudson Card, their quarterback, had 17 attempts and 7 completions, Harrison, for a whopping, want a drum roll?
Yeah, let's hear it.
56 yards.
Ooh.
Oh, yeah. Big gun. 1 touchdown. 1 interception, and
this is bulletin board material for them.
Yeah,
they hear you right now.
Yeah. QBR 15 of 15.2, and so this is interesting. I don't think Purdue has recovered since Aiden O'Connell. They, the past 2 years have just been rough. And you have Payne Durham, that he leaves and goes to NFL. They've kind of been in a lull since then. And so when you look at this, they did run the ball for 30 attempts, 263 yards. Their number 1 back being Devin Maccabee. Funny story, Devin Maccabee, number 45, got his first start against Nebraska 2022 at Purdue. That was when Trey Palmer broke the record.
Yeah.
And we lost.
Which is crazy for how good he played.
Yeah, ridiculous. Remember, we had Alante Brown corner route, and Casey overthrew it. But it was a great game if you watched it. I mean,
it was an unbelievable Trey Palmer game. It was like, this guy's going to the league.
Yeah,
because everybody in the stadium, all the Purdue fans, the coaches, even people coaching from the couch, are like, they're going to find Trey Palmer again.
Yeah, it was a fun game to be a part of. All that good stuff. But that was the first time we saw Devin Maccabee, and I believe he ran for like 200 yards on us. And it's just like the number 45, Harrison, bugs me. Why are you a running back wearing 45? You just don't look right? And that's no disrespect, but it is a tiny bit of disrespect because you can change your number. You're the best player on this offense, arguably the best player on this team. And so they actually, I'll get to it in a second, but they obviously not really, I should say, skilled at throwing the ball. So Nebraska's just going to have to take that away. On defense, though, it's an interesting story. So Oregon State only threw for 100 yards, but they ran the ball, Harrison, for 341 yards, 341 rushing yards.
How many? 341?
341.
Yeah, that's how they get to 131 out of all college football teams.
Oh, my God.
Stopping the run.
Yeah, so this is the perfect time, and Rule alluded to this. He said he wants Dante Dowdell with 20-plus carries.
You did better. I mean, they've given up 807 yards on the ground already.
And he wants the next back at 15 carries.
Let me ask you about that. Where was Emmett against Illinois?
That is my next question.
I was like, that really surprised me.
And I'm going to have to take a couple deep breaths because this really boils my blood, Harrison.
You sound like the Mornay when I asked him about it yesterday. I agree with both you guys. I was very surprised to see
this is the thing. So I had Mikey Daniels on here. He was NFL fullback with Carolina. He was Christian McCaffrey's fullback with Carolina. Played for Matt Rule at Carolina. Number 8 at South Dakota State. Right. He had his running back. It was a duo, right? His running back was kind of like the home run hitter, longer runs. Mikey was kind of the power back.
Right.
Got like 20 carries. The other guy got like 15, right? And so I asked him, I said, look, with this dynamic, with your dynamic particularly, because it's similar to what Nebraska will be dealing with, because I think Emmett and Ramir are kind of the guys you don't need a lot of carries. They can just, they're lightning in the bottle. We talked about it, right? They can pop off whenever. So I asked him, I said, well, look, what were your first two drives like? Was it like you get first drive, he gets second drive always? If you got the hot hand, do you get the drive back? He said this. He said, first drive, I always got it. Second drive, he always got it, no matter what happened. And then going into second half, they had to win the game. So whoever had the hot hand, if I had the hot hand, I had it. He said if the other guy had the hot hand, he had it. Why? Because we had to win the game. So when I look at this offense, I'm like, first of all, Emmett Johnson is too good to be on the sideline. He's too efficient and too effective in this offense to be on the sideline. Next, Dante didn't have the hot hand last week. He just didn't. There was a lot of, he tried to bounce one of the duos. He bounced one of them, stiff armed the guy, got out of bounds. He tried to bounce it again. It wasn't there.
Emmett Johnson, if you're going to go, if he had more attempts, he might have actually led him already in rushing yards. I can't remember if he led that game, but with the small amount of attempts, he definitely led in yards per rush.
For which game?
Versus UNI.
Yeah, UNI. But I'm talking about Illinois.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, so what I'm trying to say is Dante there's a couple things. He just missed a few holes. He missed a few gaps. He missed a lot of one-on-ones, a lot of situations where he could have, got a few more yards. So he missed some opportunities. So as a coaching staff and as a coach, I think, especially as an offense coordinator, personnel-wise, you gotta look at it and be like, okay, I definitely want someone else in for this, right? Just to maybe add a spark. The next person with in the carries list is 4 with Ramir Johnson.
Mm-hmm.
And so I think you're kind of playing backtrack right here, talking about the Illinois game with the carry situation. I think this really starts. I think it really starts UNI week, because you say you want to go all of a sudden Big Ten, you want to get 35 carries to your top 2 guys. Well, UNI week, you only had six carries with Dante, right? You want to rest them for Big Ten. I get it, but football is a rhythm sport. You need your guys in rhythm, especially at running back. You can't expect a guy you can't expect Allen Iverson to go in and, shoot 5 attempts and all of a sudden you expect him to shoot 25 attempts per game, right? There's a rhythm that needs to be established and created with this running back room, especially, with the new O-line, new pieces. You need to get acclimated to, how Henry pulls, how this left tackle, kicks out and, all these different things.
That's
right?
why I like the Emmett Johnson guy. I think his ability to recognize the field is always what puts him over the edge for me, especially in a game where I felt like our offensive line wasn't really creating very big holes. Give me the guy who excels at reading the field in front of him. He's just a more patient runner, and I think that's the game where you're going to take the guy that keeps you on track with some more patient runs as opposed to looking to bounce out for explosive plays.
Yeah, I'm not really sure where it's coming from. If they just don't think Emmett has it or whatever.
He had it last year, though.
That's what I'm saying.
Pisses me off.
And he had, and if you look at yards per attempt or yards per carry, he was averaging like 8 or 9.
Yeah,
like it was something ridiculous. And so he's like almost leading the country dang near. So looking at this Oregon State game, they had 57 rushing attempts, Harrison. 57. They had 2 backs over 20, and then their quarterback ran for 10. So looking at that, hey, come on. So now it kind of is a thing where, Dylan Raiola has, off the top of my head, I believe he had 35 passing attempts last week.
Yeah, might have been up there. Let me double check the stats here.
But I believe he went 35 for 25 last week. If we go forward, and they had, I believe, 35.
Yeah, he was 24 for 35.
And how many rushing attempts? I believe it was 32 or 35.
Rushing attempts for Dylan Raiola?
No, for the whole offense.
Offense for total rushing, 32 carries total.
Yeah. So, and if you subtract some of them, because some of them.
Okay, subtract 7, negative 52 from Dylan Raiola.
Yeah. So, boom. You got 25 rushing attempts right there. This game is probably going to be flipped. I would say it's probably about, if it's a 70 play game, I believe it's probably going to be a 35. I'll probably give him like a 45 or 40 run to 30 pass. Still letting Dylan throw the ball, because I think that would be good for Dylan. I think that's the true identity of this offense, because if you take the ball out of Dylan's hand, you're taking the ball out of our
best player.
Right? So you can't, people say, oh, we need to run the football. We need to run the football more. Well, Dylan just threw for 300 yards against a really good defense, right? And did it effortlessly, and didn't make, the only bad throw he made was on 3rd down the first drive. He could have threw a little bit more out in front of Isaiah Nair on that dig, but other than that, he's having a really efficient game. So for people to say we need to run the football, it's okay, my next question is, in what aspect? How do we need to run the football? Do we need to run the football, more efficiently, or you're just saying we want to run the football more, right?
I think the answer is run it more efficiently, right? I mean, that's
Exactly.
just because then look at what look what that play action does when you start breaking off runs.
Exactly. And
Just
I
have our
think
guys guessing.
I think now some of the passing attempts, and me and Mikey talked about it, I think some of them need to start stemming from an RPO system. And I know we have that in there. I think it will, and I say this, and people ears perk up like, RPO, this isn't Nebraska, right? RPO, why? Well, now you got a new left tackle and you got a new right guard. The RPO kind of helps. It helps take pressure off the O line because obviously the front seven thinks it's a run,
Mhm.
right? And then you can pull it quick and throw it out there, and it's an easier read for Dylan. Although I think Dylan can handle a lot right now. I think you can give Dylan 2 plays when you go to the line and him figure out which one is best. Like he's at an elite level, and I think the headset communication is taking it to the next step. And I mean, what better time to be a college football quarterback with that headset? I mean, you're able to get downloads from what the OC is thinking, and I think that's where I think now OC and quarterback connection. When you go and recruit guys, and you go and guys out of high school, quarterbacks wanted to go and go take visits. I think the relationship with the offense coordinator now is like, it's really like on an NFL caliber thing.
I was gonna say, I think they're gonna start getting paid more too, just like as a small wrinkle of that whole thing. Because now, I mean, we've seen it, I think, already in this quarterback play this season. Like we've seen some really phenomenal QB play, and it's hard to believe that in-com communications doesn't help out. All right, with that being said, we'll go ahead and throw to our final break here. What's brewing? Chancellor Brewington, got the host to my left. We'll keep it rolling right here on Ticket Weeknights.
It's game on at Elway Power Sports of Lincoln, Nebraska's premier Sea-Doo dealership. Score up to $300 off or a free 2-year warranty on 2024 Sea-Doo Sparks and $500 off or a free 2-year warranty on all other brand new 2024 Sea-Doos. Rule the streets on an Indian motorcycle with customer cash and trade-in credits up to $2,000 during the month of September. On or off-road, Elway Power Sports of Lincoln has you covered with a large selection of motorcycles and watercraft in stock at their new 27th and I-80 location. Hurry in, the clock is running down.
Empower a child today with the Teammates Mentoring Program. Hope is only a conversation away when you choose to share your talent, time, and heart with a child. Together, you can build a relationship based on strengths and chart a brighter future, 1 week at a time. Find out how you can be a mentor by visiting LincolnTeammates.org. Become what you needed as a kid by joining the Teammates Mentoring Program today.
Nebraskans are proud of their public schools. Hi, I'm Tim Royers. As a Nebraska Teacher of the Year, I traveled across the state and saw the value public schools bring to our communities every day. They're where our kids get the skills and opportunities they need to succeed. They're where families come together to enjoy a musical, cheer for our teams, talk with teachers, and build trusted relationships. Strong public schools create strong communities.
Sponsored by the Nebraska State Education Association, aired by the Nebraska Broadcasters Association in this station.
Hi, Sean Callahan here for Koppel Chevrolet GMC, and Truck Month is back. We have absolutely gigantic savings right now at Koppel. They are offering $12,500 off on select new pickups. That is not a mistake. You heard right. $12,500 off list price right now on select new pickups. Those discounted units, though, will not last long. These are all manager specials. You have to come in now, so hurry in down 144th Street or shop online at koppelcars.com. You'll be glad you did. Stock number G356093 must trade.
Hi, my name is Molly Party. I'm a realtor with MP Dodge Real Estate. I'm a newly licensed agent and considered numerous brokerages before deciding on MP Dodge. I chose the company that gives me the most support in my new career, plus guidance and encouragement along the way. MP Dodge has a unique mentoring program for new agents. It's helped jumpstart my career and has a supportive management team and administrative staff. So if you're contemplating a career in real estate, look no further than MP Dodge. It will be the best decision you make.
Still using that old, outdated office phone system? You need better. At Hamilton, we offer solutions for the modern office. Whether you have an office full of staff or your employees work remotely and are on the go, seamless call handling is important. Elevate your communication and connect seamlessly with clients and staff with Hamilton Business Phone Systems. Choose better and hire Hamilton at hamiltonisbusiness.com.
Perch Merch is your one-stop shop for all your printing and promotional needs in Lincoln, Nebraska. They specialize in screen printing, embroidery, vehicle wraps, window wraps, print collateral, promotional products, and signage. At Perch Merch, they are committed to delivering high-quality products and exceptional customer service. Their experienced team of designers and printing professionals will work with you every step of the way to ensure that your vision is realized. Call for a quote today at 402-217-5212 or go to perch-merch.com.
At Action Plumbing, Heating, AC, and Electrical, we're ready, reliable, and recommended. Water heater acting up or your sump pump on the fritz? Call Action. Summer's around the corner. Is your AC working? Are you sure? Call Action. Electrical problems? I'm telling you, call Action. Call Action for a free same-day estimate or a trusted second opinion. You heard that right, a free same-day estimate. 402-423-6960. ActionLincoln.com.
Old School with DP and J.
And, this part of camp it happens in high school camp, when they have a certain amount of time before their game, before school starts and all that. And then it happens in college and it happens in the pros. I had more fights with some of my good friends, the guys that I'm considered lifelong friends at this point in camp, than with some over-energized rookie trying to make a name for himself. Seriously.
On 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
93.7 The Ticket is proud to provide listeners with daily opportunities to win contests and prizes on our airwaves, and would like to take this opportunity to remind you of a couple rules. All participants must be 21 or older and must wait 30 days after winning a prize before participating in another contest. Once you win, you have 30 days to pick up your prize at the K&TK Studios, 1040 O Street in Lincoln, or your prize will be forfeit. Thank you for participating in our contest, and thank you for listening to 93.7 The Ticket.
Back to What's Brewing with Chancellor Brewington on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
All right, welcome back in. Final segment, What's Brewing with Chancellor Brewington, before we get over to the Don't Punt Hour with DeMornay Pearsonell. All right, Chancellor, we only got just a few minutes here on this final segment. Where do you want to go with it?
Yeah, I think this is like a PSA announcement for this segment that everything's gonna be okay. Like you can still as a Nebraska fan, as a Nebraska, supporter, everything is still in place. Like it's like, if you want to, we're in the Big Ten West, right?
Mm-hmm.
If we want to win,
the Big Ten, just
yeah.
Big Ten now.
Yeah. Well, if you want to win the Big Ten, right? It's not like you can't do it. Ohio State could, lose to Michigan this year. Michigan could, Michigan has some holes, right? SC, lost to Michigan. Like there's still a bunch, Indiana probably isn't going to, stay 4-0, although they're a good team. It's not like they're, the Duke powerhouse in Big Ten. They're going to fall probably just like Nebraska did, with some holes in some areas, right?
Yeah, they have yet to really be tested by a strong team yet.
Exactly. So it's not like, and I'm not glad this happened, but I'm glad we can see how the guys respond. Based on the response on Saturday, we'll see, okay, this is where our team's at.
Yeah, it's better sooner than later, right?
If we come out like, hey, if we come out, lollygagging and they're able to run the football for over, 150 yards, right? And we still walk away with the dub. Now, like, okay, the antennas are up. We're kind of like, hold on. Okay, this is not okay, right? But if we come out with a dominant performance, because if you look at Purdue, I mean, my goodness, they're not a very good football team. They're just not. I would expect them to finish
towards the bottom
of the Big Ten. I'm talking like
I would say the bottom, honestly, at this point.
Yeah, they're probably one of the worst teams in the Big Ten, maybe aside from.
But UCLA would be in the running.
Yeah, UCLA. They're probably the worst team in the Big Ten.
Yeah, because if you were
where's Northwestern at?
Northwestern's looked rough.
Yeah, so those three at the bottom. So I mean, this is kind of your beat up game. You get to beat up on the little brother right now, the little cousin, right? You got whooped by your mom. You go beat up on your little brother. Take out your anger on him. And I think that's this type of game. Definitely some key areas that need to be established: defense, special teams, and being able to run the football. If we fix those three things, patch those three things up, establish a run game, I don't know. don't let it get to a field goal. I think that's where we're at with the offense is subconsciously we have to go into each drive, into each game, into each quarter, finishing games and knowing like, hey, we can't let this get in between 3 points.
Mm-hmm. And if you're the offensive line or anybody just anybody outside of Dylan Raiola, you got to help your guy out.
Got to.
Those penalties were driving me nuts. I'm like, you got a freshman QB balling out. Like he's putting drives together. You gotta help him out. You can't keep putting him behind the sticks voluntarily.
I'll say this to end. I can end it with this one.
Yeah, you can end it with this one. I'll cue it up.
I'll end it with this one. This team, particularly this offense, but this team needs to raise their level of play to Dylan. They need to.
That's fair. He's looked awesome.
They need to. And the young guys on this team, Coach Rule talked about it. The young guys on this team didn't blink when things got tough. They didn't get tight, he said. The young guys. So if you're an older guy, Coach Rule just challenged you.
Yeah, he's saying you're still worried about those demons of the past. Like,
and the young guys don't have them. They don't know what that is.
Mm-hmm.
They don't have a subconscious mind of, oh, wait, we're supposed to lose this game. They don't have that. So there has to be an agreement. There has to be some congruency, some harmony there. So I appreciate y'all watching What's Brewing with Chancellor Brewington. We is out of here.